So I'm going to show you in this video what we do for our 5-year-old for homeschool. She's doing preschool and kindergarten, a mix of both, I guess. I've had a lot of questions about it, so I just figured I'd make a video about it and be easier to show you that way. We normally do school Monday through Thursday, but if we're busy one of those days, then we do Friday instead, since we missed that day, if that makes sense. So here you go.
So first thing we do is go to my YouTube school playlist. And then we pick something like a fun song to do. Open up Easy Peasy, which I have bookmarked to the home screen, and we're going to find H because we're starting H today. Let's see. Alright, so then so it says day 46. So listen to the alphabet song. So we'll do that. Okay, so you guys sing along to that.
A, C, D, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S.
Okay, then the next thing is learn about the letter H, that is a starfall game. And I like using this for if we do a day where I'm just not feeling to do anything, to lead anything, then I'll just have her do her letter games and stuff like that, and then she can still learn. So, okay, go ahead and start that.
Okay. Do I have to put it on here? Click the letters?
Yeah, you have to click the letters. When you click the letters, it says the sound. And then you gotta click the arrow. And then it'll go through words that start with H.
Watch the helicopter. It goes up and down.
Then it goes at the end of this starfall thing. It's a game for each letter. And it's different games. Sometimes it's like picking the uppercase letter and lowercase letter and putting it in different buckets or whatever. So this time is a matching game.
Yeah, it's really fun.
The next thing says look at the letter H. And you can print this out, but I only have a black and white printer, so I usually just let her look at it on the screen. And it will show you different forms and fonts and everything of the letter so that they can learn recognition for different styles. So, and then usually for this I'll say like which one's your favorite. So she'll, which one's your favorite H? That one, the rainbow one?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I like rainbow.
So then it gets her to look a little bit more than just pulling it up. Okay, so now it says use page 31 of the workbook and talk about Harold coloring the picture. So this is where we keep all our homeschool stuff. I'm going to do a separate video on that, but so this is where her school stuff is. So I usually just like pull all of this out. This is all just like current stuff. So let's do, so I also I had all these extra letters. So I pick a different one each day or each letter or whatever, and she can use that. I'll show you what to do with those in a second. There's an animal for each letter, and it corresponds with, like, they have a story on here that you click on it. See, it says listen to a story. So here's a story, and you just click on that and it'll read the story. It'll read that story. So then she's gonna make the hippo today. Color it in, cut it out. I'll show all that, and then we add it to our wall. We've done to G obviously, so now we're on H, and then I'll provide some links because some of these it has the animal on the Easy Peasy plan, but then it doesn't have on the website that it gives you, it doesn't always give you a like it says do a craft, horse, or helicopter, and so it doesn't actually have, this one doesn't actually have a hippo, so I had to separately find a hippo like somewhere else, and same with like the iguana and stuff like that. Like all these animals are ones that correspond with this plan, and they have a story and a name and all that, but for some reason I had to find, like the octopus, the O animal on Easy Peasy is octopus, but they don't have an octopus craft, so I just had to separately find. So I'll provide some links and all that to where I found those. So we'll color this in, and then I'll show. Okay, so she is coloring page 31, which is in the day to do, while I cut this out. And this craft, I actually like to do it at the beginning. It doesn't say to do the animal this day, but I like to do it the first day that we do each new letter. So they'll only do this once every few days, or however long you're on the letter, which honestly that is up to your kid, because she's working through this a little bit faster than this program. So I skip a few things, which I'll go over, but so I'll cut this out and assemble that and eventually laminate it while she's working on that, and then I'll show you when. And then she adds big H's and little H's, or whatever letter you're working on, and that's part of her school is finding the sticker, obviously for recognition, so she has to find it, and then she can put it anywhere on the page. I let her be kind of as free as she can with that, so she can she usually puts it on the animal, or she can just put it anywhere on the page. So then that's part of her school, again, is just finding the letter. And I've just added that. That's not part of the Easy Peasy thing, but I've just added that. So we've assembled the hippo, and then I forgot to show you this earlier. This is like an alphabet bracelet, and there's one for each letter, and she colored that in earlier, and so it's just another thing to help with recognition. I'll have her wear it like during school for whatever letter, and then even after, or whatever she wants. And so then we're on to the story. And so for each, at the end of the story, it's going to say like the sounding like this, haha. So for each letter, each animal it has something that they say, and it's like April the alligator was so each. So they learn the sounds that way, if that makes sense. So.
Harold is a friendly sort of fellow. He loves to be with people. He knows everyone's name. Everyone loves Harold. The only problem Harold has is that he can't move very fast. He wants to be with everyone else, but he can't always keep up. If he has to move quickly to catch up with someone, he'll end up out of breath and sounding like this.
Okay, so now we're going to add, I love using the alphabet stickers because it's another thing that they can do. So we're going to add a H balloon sticker to the animal. So I have, if you notice, I have usually the balloon ones for all the animals. So she can add that. So pick the H.
I want the purple one.
Okay. And then make sure you put it straight, like up and down, so you can read it.
And you put it on his
the ear. Okay. And then later I'll laminate that, and then when she goes back and look at the wall, then it has the letter on each animal, so she can all throughout the day. We've gone through all of this, what it says to do for this day, but sometimes she'll want to either do other stuff like that says listen to a song for this next day. On this next day it says listen to a song, so if she wants to continue to do that, I will. And then I'll also take stuff out, like maybe stuff that she already knows, okay, so like the do the craft, We already did the hippocraft, and so I don't make her do 2 for each letter. I just do the animal one, and but I mean they can do that, but I usually take that out. And then let's see what else there is. It says do a color page if you like. We usually don't, or if there's like something about shapes or colors or something like that, since she already knows that, we take that out. Like let me see if I can go up here and find oh yeah, look at the color green, look at these triangles. She already knows that, so I take that out obviously, but then I add other things. So now, since we're done with that page,
Since we're done with that page,
so here's letter sounds book. This is a Dollar Tree. So I only do
this is how you do it.
I only do letters that she's learned. So if we did B, C, I don't know what happened to A, D, F, G. So today we'll do H. So yeah, whatever letters that we've already done. So I'm not going to make her do these obviously until we get to J and K and all that. So I add this in. Okay, so she's completed that page. So now this video that we do, there's one for each letter, and they're really catchy. They're all the same kind of style, but just for each letter. So I add this to the school. I have an entire school YouTube playlist, and sometimes if you know, I'll just have her watch those videos for school. And so I won't play the whole thing because that will bore you, but you can see some of it here.
H is a consonant, a letter in the alphabet. H is a consonant, a letter in the alphabet. H is a consonant,
And then
a letter
later on,
I found a horse.
What goes
Horse.
like that?
Horse. 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 Horse.
Horse.
It needed my help. Help.
So like that. And then later on, it'll say the sounds like that.
Write an
And then
uppercase
this.
H in the air.
And she really likes doing this.
Write an uppercase H in the air. Write an uppercase H in the air. Write an uppercase H in the air. Write a lowercase H in the air. Write a lowercase H in the air.
It's a fun way to learn the letters and stuff. So, and then we also learn the sign for each letter we're just doing it as we go. So we're just learning one at a time, obviously. So H is going to be it looks like this. So then I just show her, do H. Okay, like this. Can you do it again? Okay.
H.
Fans, I love you.
Okay. And so we'll just continue to work through that, like every single day. I'll have her do the sign for H.
Fans,
Just so that she learns it
really,
really well.
really love you.
Okay, so now these are all optional stuff. She's pretty much done everything that I make her do now at this point, and it doesn't take that long. These are optional things now. She can either do stuff like this, which is another Dollar Tree book. It's just more fun things like this. Picking out the biggest or smallest one or whatever, stuff like that. And then this one's basically the same kind of stuff, so she can pick between those. This page is like which one's different. This one is the different one. This is like items that belong together, so she likes that kind of stuff. And this one's draw a line from the truck below to the pictures that belong with it. So just little stuff like this that just keep her brain going. And this is all just Dollar Tree stuff, so she can do as much as she wants. And this is just kind of extra.
What does this go with?
So this is typically her school on a day, and then for the average day, and then I will add in like seasonal learning games and stuff like that, or whatever else she wants to do. Really optional. A lot of times she doesn't want to do this, and I have learned to not make her. But she doesn't love to write her letters yet. So if she wants to, I let her do this because this is a dry erase book, and the only way she'll write them is dry erase, either on this or on the board, or just a regular dry erase board, because then if she messes up, it's really easy to erase. So yeah, so if she'll want to, I'll just have her do just the one letter that we're working on. I don't ever have her do all of them or anything like that. So a couple more ideas just for fun extra stuff. I don't like make her do this every day, but just once in a while I add it here and there, even not during school, but she wants to do it when I'm making dinner or whatever. This is, just a dry erase board, and then she can practice letters on this. And then I also got these from Dollar Tree. These are alphabet and number stencils, but we haven't started the numbers yet. So then whatever, again, whatever letter, just construction paper, whatever letter we're working on, I'll let her stencil that with, I have a bingo marker. You can use anything like that. And so that was, all that's Dollar Tree. You can get that from Dollar Tree. So then she'll just make that shape, and it's just, she like begs me to do this. It's something fun. And then she just learns the shape of that letter. It just reiterates it more. I just try to think of fun ways to reiterate learning that letter. So, and she can do as much as that as she wants, and I don't really have to sit down and supervise her. She can just kind of do it on her own or whatever, just more free. So one more thing we do is we put cards on the fridge for whatever letter it is that we're learning. And like I said, sometimes that's every 3 days, and sometimes it's once a week, just depending on how fast she gets it. So this is from multiple decks, and so I try to do a mix of just the plain letter and then like some pictures of what starts with it and all that. And so then, throughout the week or, after school, whatever, anytime she's seeing that as she's getting a snack or whatever, then she sees that. So that's just one more thing to just incorporate it in. And then also throughout the day, I will just reinforce, like keep doing do the H sign, that sign for H, the letter H. I know she needs a little bit more help to memorize that. So just throughout the day, even after school or whatever, in the morning, whatever, I'll just ask her how to do it, and I'll just show her, and so she gets that in her more.
So one more thing I would normally add in that we started off the first couple weeks adding into school was memorizing Bible verses. But 2 weeks into the school year, we started Awana. So they're learning 2 verses a week with Awana. So we're just using that for school. Although we work on them other times too, like when I'm making dinner, I'll have her repeat them back and stuff like that. So to do Awana verses and another school verse on top of that is a lot. So we're basically just using Awana verses as our memory school verses, whatever. So, but other than that, like if your kids aren't doing Awana, then I would just do that separately. So that's the only other thing I would add, and it's doesn't really matter if you do it at the beginning and or the end or whatever. You can obviously mix this stuff up however, like in whatever order works for you. I just found an order that I kind of like to do, and so just whatever works for you. If you want to do it at the beginning, if you whatever you want to do the videos at the beginning or the end, or if you want to do the coloring or whatever, it's just whatever works for you, whatever they want to do. Sometimes I'll have her do the letter games on her own. Sometimes I'll have her do that the first thing. Sometimes I'll have her do that the last thing. So it's just, don't be afraid to change it up. It's just whatever works. You don't have to follow, like there's no law that says you have to follow everything perfectly and follow the easy peasy thing, everything that they do, or whatever. It's just like, your kid, what they need to learn, what they're already past, how fast they pick it up or not, so you can speed it up or slow it down according to your kid. So that's the beauty of homeschooling. So but that's all I wanted to add, is that normally we would do the Bible verses, but because we do Awana, then we're just doing that.
One more thing we sometimes do, although we didn't do it today, usually this is something to do more towards the end when you've done the letter for a couple days. Like this is kind of usually how I test her to see if she's ready to go on to the next letter. I just, I'll have her pick any book. Usually it's a library book, so whichever one she wants, doesn't matter. And I'll have her pick out whatever letter. So, we're doing H right now. So I have her pick out the letter, you know, in the book so that she can show me both uppercase and lowercase. And once she can do that pretty well, then I know, okay, it's safe to go on to the next letter. And then, you know, obviously also, you know, just throughout life, she'll point out letters in the grocery store, on signs as we're driving by or whatever. And she'll say, oh, well, you know, that's an A. And I'll say, okay, what other letters is on that sign? Or do you see a G? Do you see an H? And so I'm just kind of always, even when we're out, she's learning like that. But this is just one last thing you can do. And this is kind of what I use as my gauge to know if they're ready to move on, because I don't want to move on to the next letter until she has that letter really well, and she can, you know, point it out to me and recognize it, like, you know, like this, because if not, then she hasn't learned it enough. So then, you know, no big deal, and we just learn it another day or two until she can. So
the main thing with her and with Melody that I try to do is just like learning games, fun games that they want to do that helps them learn. The videos that for each letter, stuff that they like, they beg me to watch, or shows like there's a video called Number Jacks. They like to watch that. And just any kind of games that you can find. You can print them out, you can laminate them and make them reusable games that they can play anytime. And just making it fun. That's the main thing, because when you make it a chore, like you want to make sure it does not become a chore, something they don't want to do, because then they're not going to learn. So you want to keep it fun, and if they're ever getting frustrated with something, even if it's something that everybody else should be doing or whatever, like her writing her letters, I think she's at the age where other kids start doing that, but she just doesn't want to. It makes her cry. Whenever I try to make her, it frustrates her. So I'm just like, you know, it's okay. She can just learn her letters right now, and, you know, just color them in. And when she wants to do a couple dry erase, she can. But for right now, all the books like from the Dollar Tree where they practice writing on the line, I've just put away for later. So I guess that's it for this video. And then in the next video, I'm going to show you Melody's school stuff, which is very minimal, and it's about once a week that I do anything. So I'll show you that in my next video. Bye.